From rags to riches, the power of dreams. Walt Disney, a name synonymous with magic, joy, and childhood dreams. His empire of animated characters and theme parks has brought smiles to generations worldwide. Let's delve into the life of Walt Disney, a man who, from his humble beginnings, painted the world with the colors of imagination. Walt Disney's story begins far from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, in the heartland of America. Born in 1901, his early life was a far cry from the fairy tale world he would create. Growing up on a farm in Missouri, young Walt experienced the harsh realities of poverty and hardship. Despite facing financial struggles, Walt found solace and inspiration in the world of drawing. Life on the farm was tough, especially for young Walt. His father, Elias, struggled to make ends meet, and the family moved frequently in search of better opportunities. Despite the hardships, Walt found solace in drawing. He drew constantly, filling notebooks with sketches of animals, caricatures of his family, and fantastical creatures that seemed to leap off the page. At school, Walt's artistic talents didn't always find a welcoming audience. His teachers, more focused on traditional subjects, often scolded him for doodling in his notebooks instead of paying attention to his lessons. Undeterred by his teachers' disapproval, Walt found ways to incorporate his love for art into his everyday life. He would draw illustrations for the school newspaper, create posters for school events, and even sell his drawings to classmates for a few pennies. By the time Walt was a teenager, his family had settled in Kansas City. He enrolled in Saturday classes at the Kansas City Art Institute, eager to hone his skills and learn from established artists. During his high school years, Walt's entrepreneurial spirit continued to flourish. He landed a summer job as a cartoonist for the Pesman Rubin Commercial Art Studio, eager to gain experience in the professional world. In 1920, armed with his artistic skills and unwavering ambition, Walt took a leap of faith. He co-founded his first animation studio, Overcame Films, in Kansas City. Walt poured his heart and soul into the venture, recruiting a talented team of young animators who shared his passion for storytelling. Despite their artistic success, Overcame struggled financially. Despite the initial success of the Newman Laugh-O-Grams, Overcame Films struggled to stay afloat. Securing funding for their ambitious projects proved to be a constant challenge. Walt, ever the optimist, poured every penny he had into the company, even mortgaging his own furniture to keep the lights on. The company's debts mounted, and soon Overcame was forced to declare bankruptcy. Determined to make a fresh start, Walt set his sights on Hollywood, the burgeoning epicenter of the film industry. He packed his bags, gathered his remaining possessions, including his precious movie camera, and boarded a train bound for California. Arriving in California with little more than a suitcase and a head full of dreams, Walt faced a daunting challenge. He took on odd jobs to make ends meet, working as a freelance photographer and even selling door-to-door. In the confines of his humble garage studio, Walt began to develop a character that would change the course of animation history, Mickey Mouse. Inspired by the antics of a tame mouse he had befriended back in his Kansas City studio, Mickey was initially conceived as a mischievous but lovable rodent named Mortimer Mouse. However, Walt's wife Lillian found the name Mortimer too pretentious and suggested the more endearing moniker, Mickey. He poured his remaining savings into creating a new Mickey Mouse short, one that would push the boundaries of animation and revolutionize the film industry. In 1928, Walt Disney made a decision that would forever alter the landscape of animation. He decided to synchronize sound with a groundbreaking move in the world of animation. Up until that point, animated films had been silent, relying solely on visuals and musical accompaniment to tell their stories. Walt understood the power of sound to enhance storytelling, to create a more immersive and emotionally resonant experience for the audience. He invested everything he had into, poring over every detail from the animation to the sound synchronization. He even mortgaged his car to help finance the project, a testament to his unwavering belief in the film's potential. He knew that was more than just a cartoon. It was a chance to revolutionize the way audiences experienced animation. On November 18, 1928, premiered at the Colony Theater in New York City. The response was nothing short of electric. Audiences were captivated by the film's synchronized sound, its catchy tunes, and the infectious charm of Mickey Mouse. The film was an instant sensation, catapulting Mickey Mouse to superstardom and establishing Walt Disney as a visionary in the world of entertainment. It was more than just a technological marvel. It was a testament to the power of storytelling and the boundless possibilities of animation. The film's success proved that animation could be more than just lighthearted entertainment for children. It could be a powerful medium for evoking emotions, conveying complex narratives, and captivating audiences of all ages. The success of Steamboat Willie marked a turning point in animation history. Walt Disney Studios, once a struggling startup, was suddenly at the forefront of a new era. The film's innovative use of synchronized sound revolutionized the industry. Walt was driven by an insatiable curiosity. He assembled a team of talented artists and animators. He fostered a collaborative and creatively charged environment. He understood that the success of Steamboat Willie was just the beginning. He was determined to create a legacy of timeless animated films. Constantly innovating, Walt and his team refined their techniques. They embraced new technologies to enhance their films. Walt's commitment to innovation ensured Disney Studios' excellence. While Mickey Mouse remained a beloved and iconic character, Walt knew that he needed to expand his repertoire and create a diverse cast of characters that would appeal to a wide audience. He understood that the longevity of his studio depended on its ability to create characters that resonated with people from all walks of life, characters that transcended cultural boundaries and spoke to the shared human experience. Drawing inspiration from fairy tales, mythology, literature, and the world around him, Walt and his team created a menagerie of unforgettable characters, each with their own unique personalities, motivations, and backstories. From the mischievous Donald Duck to the adorable Pluto, from the silly Goofy to the elegant Minnie Mouse, the Disney universe began to expand, populated by a cast of characters that captured the hearts and imaginations of audiences worldwide. Walt understood that a great story could transport audiences to different worlds, evoke a range of emotions, and impart valuable life lessons. He instilled in his team a deep respect for the art of storytelling, emphasizing the importance of crafting narratives that were not only entertaining but also meaningful and thought-provoking. He encouraged his writers and animators to explore a wide range of genres, from whimsical musicals to epic adventures, from heartwarming romances to side-splitting comedies. This diversity of storytelling, combined with the studio's commitment to technical excellence and innovative animation, ensured that Disney films appealed to a broad audience, crossing generational and cultural boundaries. In the mid-1930s, Walt Disney embarked on his most ambitious project to date, the world's first full-length animated feature film. At a time when animation was seen as a novelty for children, Walt's decision was a risky gamble. Many industry insiders doubted audiences would sit through a full-length cartoon. Undeterred, Walt was determined to prove them wrong. He believed animation could tell complex, emotionally resonant stories. He invested $1.5 million, a staggering amount during the Great Depression. The production involved a massive team of artists, animators, writers, and musicians. Walt's meticulous attention to detail was evident in every aspect of the film. He knew the film had to be a cinematic masterpiece to captivate audiences. The road to success is rarely paved with gold, and Walt Disney's journey was no exception. Despite the groundbreaking success of financial challenges continued to cast a long shadow over Walt Disney Studios. The immense cost of producing high-quality animated films, coupled with the unpredictable nature of the box office, meant that the studio often operated on a knife edge, with financial stability always seeming just out of reach. Walt, however, refused to let financial constraints stifle his artistic vision. He understood that creating groundbreaking animation required significant investment, and he was willing to take risks, often putting his own money on the line to fund his ambitious projects. He believed that if he could create films that resonated with audiences, the financial rewards would follow. He was a shrewd businessman, but his decisions were always driven by his artistic vision, not solely by the bottom line. He understood that sacrificing quality for the sake of profit would ultimately undermine the integrity of his studio and its legacy. He was determined to create films that were both commercially successful and artistically groundbreaking, a delicate balancing act that he managed with remarkable skill. To ensure the studio's survival, Walt made strategic decisions, often accepting lower distribution fees for his films in exchange for retaining creative control. He understood that maintaining ownership of his characters and stories was paramount to building a lasting legacy. He was playing a long game, one that extended far beyond the immediate gratification of box office success. As Walt Disney Studios grew, so did the complexities of managing a large workforce. The studio employed hundreds of artists, animators, writers, and technicians. Maintaining harmony within this diverse group was an ongoing challenge for Walt. In 1941, the studio was rocked by a major labor strike. It threatened to derail Walt's dreams and dismantle the studio. Walt felt deeply hurt and betrayed by the strike. The strike dragged on for weeks, creating a rift within the studio. It forced Walt to confront the realities of running a large business. Section 3, A World in Crisis, the Great Depression and its Impact. The 1930s brought with them the Great Depression, a devastating economic downturn that sent shockwaves throughout the world. The impact of the Depression was felt acutely in the entertainment industry, as millions of Americans, struggling to make ends meet, cut back on discretionary spending, including trips to the movies. Theaters closed, productions were canceled, and many studios, unable to weather the financial storm, were forced to shut their doors. For Walt Disney Studios, the Great Depression presented an unprecedented challenge. The studio, already operating on tight margins, faced dwindling box office receipts and a shrinking pool of investors willing to finance risky animated films. The future of the studio, once so bright and promising, now seemed uncertain. Walt, however, refused to let the bleak economic climate extinguish his creative spark. He saw the Depression not as an insurmountable obstacle, but as an opportunity to innovate and adapt. He knew that audiences hungry for escape and inspiration needed the magic of Disney now more than ever. He doubled down on his commitment to quality, believing that audiences, even in tough times, would still flock to see films that offered exceptional entertainment value. He continued to invest heavily in his animation team, pushing them to create ever more inventive and visually stunning films. Section 4, A Daring Vision, the Genesis of Disneyland. Despite the financial uncertainties and the ongoing challenges of running a studio, Walt Disney never stopped dreaming. He envisioned a place where families could escape the everyday world and step into a realm of imagination and wonder, a place where his animated characters could come to life and interact with visitors. This dream, initially conceived as a modest amusement park adjacent to the studio, would eventually evolve into something far grander: Disneyland. The idea of Disneyland was initially met with skepticism from Walt's brother Roy, his business partner, and from many within the studio. They considered it a foolhardy distraction from the studio's core business of filmmaking, a costly and risky venture that could potentially bankrupt the company. Walt, however, was undeterred. He poured his heart and soul into developing his vision for Disneyland, meticulously planning every detail from the layout of the park to the design of the rides to the costumes worn by the park employees. He saw Disneyland as the culmination of his life's work, a place where his love for animation, storytelling, and creating immersive experiences could come together in a truly magical way. To fund his ambitious project, Walt took a calculated risk. He mortgaged his own home and borrowed against his life insurance policy, putting his own financial security on the line to realize his dream. He also turned to television, a relatively new medium at the time, to generate revenue and promote his upcoming park. Section 1. A Legacy of Dreams Fulfilled. Walt Disney's life was a testament to the power of imagination and perseverance. From a Missouri farm to a global empire, Walt's journey had extraordinary highs and crushing lows, of risks taken and lessons learned. Through it all, Walt never lost sight of his core values. He dared to dream big, envisioning a world where animation could transcend entertainment. He faced countless obstacles but met each setback with renewed determination. He built a company synonymous with childhood wonder. Walt Disney's legacy extends far beyond the silver screen. He reminded us that anything is possible if we pursue our passions. Walt Disney's enduring impact. Walt Disney once said, "If you can dream it, you can do it." These words have resonated with generations, inspiring countless individuals to pursue their dreams. Walt's life story continues to motivate and uplift people from all walks of life. His legacy lives on in the timeless characters he created and the values they embody. The magical worlds he created continue to enchant and inspire millions. His influence can be seen in countless aspects of popular culture. His innovative approach revolutionized entire industries, setting a standard for excellence. Walt Disney's most enduring legacy is the intangible magic he brought into the world. He reminded us of the importance of laughter, the power of dreams, and the enduring strength of the human spirit.